Hello, everyone. How are you tonight? Hope you can hear me. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm going to continue my Hobgoblin series here. Hobgoblin Lives. It's the return of Roger Stern, who co-created Hobgoblin with John Romita Jr. And he tried to get John Romita Jr. to do this, and I think the editors did, but I guess he was up to something else, unfortunately. And Ron Frenz drew it, who's serviceable at times and really good at times, and he was good here. George Perez inked the first issue, which was strange at first, but I reread it recently. It's pretty good. And now this one, I thought it was Bob McLeod, but it's Jerome Moore and Sal Buscema. That's interesting. Hey, Jimmy. How's it going? Hell. So this is part 2 of this series. It's part 5 of my Hobgoblin series. Hey, Cigar Gangster. How's it going? Good evening. So I'm going to continue this. I guess I'll reread this part here. It wouldn't hurt just to reread, just to catch up a little. It's a good little catch up here. Spider-Man Hobgoblin Lives. That's a good cover. I just don't understand why, but then again, George Perez makes unnecessary lines always. Here, what the hell's that? It's always just this line, but he made it into down there. It is a great handle, Jimmy. Cigar Gangster. It's hilarious. Okay. Having murdered Jason Philip Messendale, his successor to the role, the original Hobgoblin now stands poised to pick up exactly where he left off years ago. Spider-Man has begun an extensive investigation into the return of one of his most formidable enemies and finds himself aided by those closest to him. His wife, Mary Jane, and his friends, Flash Thompson, Betty Brant Leeds. I don't think Flash was brought up here yet. I think he's going to make an appearance here. I think so. Because he had something to do. He was also tricked. Basically, Hobgoblin made it seem to the public that Flash Thompson was the Hobgoblin. He's always doing this. He's a great trickster. He really is. As for Betty, now a reporter for the Daily Bugle, it's especially crucial that she get to the truth. Up until now, she had been convinced that the original Hobgoblin was her own husband, the late Ned Leeds. Amidst the sea of murder, corruption, manipulation, blackmail, and business maneuverings, the Hobgoblin continues his comeback and marches closer to a total victory over all his enemies, and that includes Spider-Man. But who is he? The Hobgoblin lives, and Spider-Man's going to regret it. That's pretty cool. That's a good setup. I like it. Classic. Yeah, so I thought it was Bob McLeod who inked this, but I think he might ink the third issue. But this one, Jerome Moore and Scott Hanna, not Sal Buscema. Damn, I got it wrong twice. Scott Hanna, interesting. Scott Hanna, who's been inking John Romita Jr. for years now, and they make a pretty good team. It's interesting. He's gotten a little rougher over Romita Jr.'s pencils, but not as rough and wild as Klaus Janson. So it's a little more refined with a rough edge, which is just perfect for John Romita Jr., who needs a little cleanliness. You don't want a guy like Janson, at least now, the way Romita's a little loose in his pencils, inking that, because he'll just make it even looser. You want a guy to tighten it up a little and still make it look rough. And that's what Scott had, at least now. I think years ago he was a little too slick for Romita Jr., but now I think he's just right. And he's still doing Amazing Spider-Man, John Romita Jr. with Scott Hanna. And again, this was this was almost 30 years ago. This series, almost 30 years ago. Crazy. Hey, Mikey. How's it going? Hey, Hamilton. How are you? Tarks9. How's it going? Mikey gets back Pigman now, guys. Help get it to 18,000. Thank you very much, Mikey. Appreciate it, man. It's just on the verge of hitting 18,000 and hitting 279 or 80 backers. I'm going to pitch it like I always do, and I'm also going to show some new ads that I posted on X. And also, if you didn't see it, my Fantastic Four drawing from last night on Comics Day Kings, which got a pretty good response. I'm very pleased with it. I got second place last week and second place this week, so that's pretty damn good. Doing pretty well. And it was a low-fat watermark who said Bosch is going to win this one before, I had to laugh it off because, hey, man, You got some great artists there, man. It's like you try to do your best. When I heard the Fantastic Four, I said, "Oh, okay, I can draw the Fantastic Four." Maybe I'm literal. I don't know. And then I see that most of the guys just drew like a single character. Um, a part of me also, I think that there's a part of me. It's like um, I was always on the outskirts, on the verge of being, taken in by Marvel and DC. I had a correspondence with Mark Chirillo, the art director at DC. I had a correspondence with Joe Quesada at Marvel, who wanted to see my book Table for One, and was very excited to see after he saw the drawing. I walk into the crowded room, not a soul in sight. That was the tagline, and it got in the hands of actual Alonso, his assistant, because he got really sick, Joe Quesada. And clearly, that commie, Alonso just threw it in the garbage. But I was always there, always close, not quite there. So I think part of me has got to prove myself a little more with these guys. So because all these guys work for mainstream DC and Marvel, some of them both. So I feel like I got to step it up a little more. Anyway, so here we go. This is interesting here also. Hobgoblin sources. What's this about? Huh. Look at this. Page specific details about what's going on. This is interesting. Huh. Interesting. A little catch up here. Okay. Yeah, the art you could tell is a little different than last issue because Perez kept it really tight. It was a little awkward looking at him inking Ron Friends, who's a pretty loose artist. But I did like it more the last time I read it the old day than I did years ago. So that's pretty cool. Aboom Bots. 2 silver medals in a row on Kings. Nice showing. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. It's fun. It's really fun. Uh, Jimmy the Lumberjack bot. 2025 is your year, Boss Foss, and CG is lucky to have you. You're very, very kind, Jimmy. Thank you very much. And I know you're not being kind. I know. I don't mean to downplay that. Thank you very much. And I think it will be. I got to say, because I not only do I have Pigman #1 coming out, but I'm going to launch Pigman #2 later on this year. And I have that 350-page graphic novel, which I hope to be done by this year as well. At least the announcement will happen to some extent, and we'll see how it's going to go because I think some people are talking about maybe releasing it in parts, but I'd rather release it in one big shot. That's how I would ideally. And I got the publisher to, as I told you again, to make it. I fought for this. I fight for a lot of things when it comes to my work. I'm locked into something, and I just gotta stick to it. And sometimes it works. I asked them. I said, "Can I please make this 14 by 21, the original art, which I retained all of, which is always great. 8 by 14 size for the printed book. So it'll be a lot taller than your average comic, and there's a reason why. Um, there's a story reason why, and you'll see when it happens. I'm going to make the most of it. That size, I can make the most of it. And even with that, guys, I have literally like a whole extra tier of panels that I can work with because at least it's 3 inches taller than your average comic. Even the taller ones is just so I have like an extra tier that I can do, and it's I'm working mainly through a 16 panel grid, a lot of Dark Knight Returns, because I got so much information to pack in this story, so much, and it works beautifully. And of course, I open it up. I mean, to the point where on the side panels sometimes it's just one long panel there, and so on and so on. And sometimes, of course, they cut it right across, but that's the basic template. That's the template. So it's going to be a big year. Thanks, Jimmy. Appreciate it. Thank you. Mikey Getz, I voted for you because you did all 4. I liked Billy's, but it was only Sue. I liked yours the best. EBS second. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was me and Ethan who drew the 4, which is cool as hell. Let me show you guys. Let me just show you quick before I start this. If you weren't there, if you haven't seen it, I know some of you don't watch Kings, so this is the drawing. The theme was the Fantastic Four, and I said, you know what? I'm very literal minded. Again, I just said, okay, all 4, and not only all four, because if you notice, it's Doctor Doom in there as well. I tend to. It's like last week when they said the Hobgoblin. What was it? I put in Spider Man as well. I focused it on Hobgoblin, and then I put Spider Man, and also the Joker one. I focused on Joker, but I also put Batman in there. I just think it's just fun to get this opportunity to draw these characters I never drew officially. The older guys have. So this is all it's just new to me. It's pretty damn cool. Pretty damn cool. It's fun. You got Sue there. Got the Thing. I like how his face came out. And you got Reed Richards. Some people in the chat were saying that's Bosch Richards. I'm like, I don't see it, but thank you, I guess. And I did my own version of the Kirby Crackle. I like the energy coming from from Doom's fists. And Sue is building up her power like a shield type thing and just blasting him with it. So very cool. And I'll show you something here that I'm doing. It's a quick little look. Just a quick look at this. That's all. I'm just leave it at that. It's something that I'm working on, which is fun. It's very, very cool. It's just I'm enjoying it, man. Being part of CG, and thanks for being here, guys. Always appreciate your company. So let me get started here. Let me read a few more comments and then go from there. Skull, Trevor. Skull. How's it going? Hey, Grey Wolf. How are you doing? Okay, so here we go. Let me get some water. I'll read a few pages, maybe 4 pages, and then I'll check in on the comments and go from there. This is fun. Thanks, Jimmy. Picked up the trading cards, and hopefully that pushes you to over 18. Was saving up for the closeout, but swinging it tonight. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much, Jimmy. Thank you. Always appreciate your support. Very, very cool. Yeah, I just that's a nice number to hit at this point, 18. And then the big one will be 20. And I'm still thinking of ways to try to appeal to new backers, stretch goals. I haven't decided on. I got a few in mind, but I got to figure this out. Again, within a few more, I think, crowdfunds, I'll start to understand this a lot more. Right now, I think I did a pretty good job starting it and maintaining it. Actually, I'm about to hit almost double of what I started that first night with. That's pretty good, and I intend to push that a little further and then have a strong closeout. Thanks, man. Thanks again, Jimmy, and thanks, Mikey. Okay, so Lower Manhattan, 5:15 a.m. I don't believe this. First, he keeps me working through the night, and now he has me playing errand boy. I thought I was through with this madness, but it never ends, does it? You can't sell your soul for riches without putting yourself at the beck and call of the devil. About time you got here, Kingsley. Back in business. He's been back after years of being off the grid. People taking his identity, and he killed the last guy who took his identity. I'm not sure if that was okay. It was actually because Bessendale, I think, was paid by the foreigner to kill Ned Leeds, who he thought was the Hobgoblin, and then the Hobgoblin just killed him last issue. So it wasn't that he gave it to him; he took it. One thing also, guys, if you remember the old Ditko comics with Green Goblin when he went to Change, that's a very similar panel right here when Norman Osborn, before we knew it was Norman Osborn, when he went to a Change, he had this little thing to cover him up. Pretty cool. So the Hobgoblin says, don't tell me you ran into traffic at this hour. No, but the streets are a mess, all torn up. I had to detour. Your petty problems are of no concern to the Hobgoblin. Where are the compounds? Right here. I hope that will be all. No, it will not. I have a number of duties for you to perform. Is this really necessary? You are an integral part of my operation, Kingsley. You will either do as you're told, or I'll use the Winkler process to force you to do my bidding. That was something, I don't know I think they must have introduced it here because they used it again in a year or two ago when they brought back the Hobgoblin. A little mind control thing. Make up your mind while it's still your own. Some choice. More than he gave Lefty Donovan, though, or poor Ned Leeds. Of course, I'll do as you say. Haven't I always? I owe you my life after all. Yes, you do. It's just that with Messendale accusing Leeds of being the Hobgoblin, I don't understand why you'd want to take up the role again. No, and you never will. You're ruthless enough when it comes to business, Kingsley, but you'll never understand real power. Neither did Messendale. Ha ha ha. Did I tell you how I handled Messendale? You have become an embarrassment to me, Jason. An embarrassment I can no longer tolerate. Grisly stuff, I know. Um, but let me back this up. There's something I want you to hear again. Breed, did you really think that Leeds was the Hobgoblin? He was as much a dupe as Donovan. This is interesting. So they get to know from the first-hand source that that's not that Ned Leeds was not the Hobgoblin. All the main characters are here. I think that's Ben Urich as well. I think it is. Looks like him there, but not there. He looks a little bigger there. But sounds as if the killer is suggesting that Ned was set up, Jonah. But Betty saw Ned dressed as the Hobgoblin. How do you explain that? I don't know, Robbie. Impersonation, manipulation, brainwashing, maybe. All I know is that the man on the tape gained entry to a maximum security prison, knocked out anyone who could stop him, and killed Jason Messendale. That's good. That's very good detective work there, reporting. And he knew that security cameras were recording the murder. He wanted the authorities to know that he's not afraid of them. A man who could do that is capable of just about anything. My gut feeling is he was telling the truth. He must be the real Hobgoblin, and he's just made a big mistake. I don't believe that Ned could have been the Hobgoblin. And again, I think this is an element that Roger Stern brought up in this series years later, that he sent Ned Leeds on a secret assignment to try to find out who the Hobgoblin is after the blackmail thing, which was not in the actual stories. I might be wrong, but I skipped those issues with Tom DeFalco and Ron French. While some of them were good, I just really prefer, there's an investment here with Roger Stern that is his character, his villain, along with John Romita Jr. They both co-created him. So I think it's a little more, he gets a far better handle, let's say, on the character than anyone else. None of you knew this, not even you, Robbie, but just after the Hobgoblin tried to blackmail me, I assigned Ned to hunt him down. For all I know, that assignment led to Ned's death. I must know the truth. The public must know. Couldn't agree more. This assignment takes top priority, people. You got it, Robbie. What about me, Jonah? I want in on this story too. No, Betty. You're part of the story now. Besides, what? You're afraid I'll get myself killed? It's okay for Ben Urich or Charlie Snow. So that was Ben Urich, okay. It's okay for Ben Urich or Charlie Snow or even a young photog like Angela to go out and maybe risk their lives, but not me? Is that it? I'm sorry, I'm not your secretary anymore, Jonah. I haven't been in a long time. Betty, don't worry. I can't be hurt any more than I already have. Think about it. I mean, from her perspective, she's been sitting on this for years now. At least, comic book time, our time. Comic book time, I don't know what it is. A couple of years, maybe. She's been sitting with the fact that her husband was a killer, a supervillain. And now she finds out that he wasn't. And maybe he was a victim of that. So must be doing some hurt on her. Bets, hey, wait up. Don't try to stop me, Peter. No one's keeping me off this story. No one. I don't blame her at all. It's awesome. At this point, kiddo, I wouldn't think of trying. If you want to clear Ned's name, I'm behind you 100%. I know what you're going through. My own parents were framed to look like traitors. It's a terrible feeling when it's your name on the line. Pretty big words back there, Bryant. Now, how do you back them up? Where do you start? Psst. Hey, lady. Sounds like a flasher. What the hell? Oh, we really have to stop meeting like this. Don't you ever say hello like a normal person? For me, this is normal. That's interesting. That spider got really big on his chest. Whoa. I guess after the Black Costume, they figured, hey, we like that big spider. I hear that Messendale was killed by some mystery man. How? Hey, reporters aren't... Okay. Because Betty knows, and Spider-Man does know, but, he wants to let on that he knows. Hey, reporters aren't the only ones with sources. I didn't know your husband well, Betty, but he always struck me as a straight arrow. The Hobgoblin said of a lot of people, Lefty Donovan, Flash Thompson, maybe Ned too. That's what I intend to find out. Same here. What do you say we work together? Jonah would have a fit. All right. I guess because Jonah would have a fit. Good. We can probably rope your pal Parker in on this too. He owes us both some favors. I'll be in touch. I hope I inspire more confidence than I feel this won't be easy, especially since there's one other high stakes player who always used goblin gear to get his way. What if the man who blew Messendale away was Norman Osborn? I thought he was dead before, and I was wrong. If he somehow survived our last blowout, okay. So remember when Norman Osborn came back in that big story, and it looked like he died at the end? Clearly it didn't. It's always happening, right? So it is a question to ask, actually. Was that Norman Osborn in disguise? Could he be behind all this? I love that. I love that, Roger Stern is just playing it back and forth. Okay, we had a few contenders, a few more here and there, and we'll see how this goes. 1 second. What is this? Okay, there we go. It's not that complicated. After a takeover bid is made on Osborne through the dummy companies you set up, Kingsley International rushes in to play White Knight. There's something here, guys. I don't want to give it away, but look at the look of Kingsley here as opposed to the one earlier on where he's weak. Everything scares him, his own shadows. And here he has got the look of confidence, suspicion. Yes, no one will ever suspect that I used company funds to make the initial offer, but nothing can be left to chance. We must ensure that the right people see you as my old friend, an ally who can save the Osborne Corporation from the barbarians. Hello, Donald Mencken here. Vadrigal? Yes, what can I... What? What are you talking about? No, that's absurd. You're crazy, am I? I think the SEC would be very interested to learn who set up those dummy companies, but they don't have to. Show a little respect, and there might still be a place for you at Osborne, under my control. Hello? Hello? Fuck, George Vanderbilt is onto me, but I won't let him win. I've come too far. He's crossed the wrong man. So many questions to answer. What's Spider-Man doing there? Just looking creepy. The web line is just floating. It's a little weird. We don't even know. I guess he was trying to pull a McFarlane there or something, which is strange for Friends because he's more of a classical artist. We don't even know how or why Ned was set up, much less by whom. We need to narrow down the possible suspects before... Hello? What's this? I'm not talking to you, Conover. Hear me out. You took a lot of lumps from the Hobgoblin kid. I'm offering you a chance to... Bull! You just want me to diss Ned Leeds. Well, no way. His wife suffered enough thanks to leeches like you. Okay, but if you change your mind, go on back underground where you belong. How do you really feel, Thompson? Spidey, man, it's good to see you. Same here, Flash. Problems with the press? It's nuts. I thought Leeds was a lousy husband to Betty, but he was no hobgoblin. I ought to know. We had it out once. Mikey gets, Bosh, you should add the sticker and new card to the I Want It All pack before it closes out. 100%. I'm going to do that. I thought about that yesterday. I'm going to do that actually. Let me put it on my daily notes list. 1 second. Thanks, Mikey. Appreciate it. 1 second, guys. Thank you. Hamilton Burger says, hey, lady, sounds more like Jerry Lewis to me. That's funny. Is that right? Did he say that? Alpha Channel, my man. How's it going? Glad to have you here. All right, guys. So this is Flash Thompson talking about Ned Leeds and saying, "Look, maybe I don't like the guy. Maybe he had a fight, but he was no hobgoblin. That's ridiculous." Here's a little special effect here from late '90s. Here, a blurry background, sharp foreground, pretty cool. Back when he and Betty were having trouble, and I decked him. If Ned ever wore a hobgoblin suit, he was framed, same as me. I think what he's saying is that he was able to hurt him, and Hobgoblin is a lot stronger than that. Betty is having trouble again, Flash. We all want to get to the bottom of this hobgoblin mess. Hey, I hear that. If you need help, you can count on me. So funny that Flash Thompson was the biggest fan of Spider-Man and the bully of Peter Parker. It's just funny that kind of irony by Stan Lee, and maybe even Ditko. Okay, one second, guys. Um, I made the man an offer, and he hung up on me as if he were holding the aces. Can you imagine that, Bob? Mencken is too full of himself. We'll have to take him down a peg. Not a problem, George. I've already put some plays into motion which should shake things up a bit. Ba-doom! Blazes, George! What's going on? Huh. Lord, no. Lord, no. This can't be happening. This can't be. Hello, Vandergill. Long time no see. It's been years, hasn't it? Since my little soiree at the Century Club. Well, you got off easy that time, George. Get away from me. You're in no position to make demands. What do you want? Exactly what you want, Georgie. And since only one of us can have it, you lose. No, no. Hello, Senator Martin. A word to the wise. Takeover bids can be most unhealthy. He just killed George Vanderbilt just like that. He's killed two guys in this, short series so far. It just shows you a little more ruthlessness than the Green Goblin had, at least early on. Oh, I also advise against cordless phones. You never know who might be listening in. Laughs his ass off. Yeah, that's right. Take him down a peg is classic 70s Marvel speak. That's right. The one that really always gives me a chuckle is the 60s one, like when Sandman is telling Spider-Man, I'm going to polish you up. I'm going to polish you up, in lieu of saying, I'm going to kill you. It's hilarious. Police are calling suspicious an explosion which touched off this fire at Norcom's Hudson Valley plant yesterday afternoon. After battling through the night, fire officials have finally contained the blaze, which claimed the lives of at least 40 people. Wow. So Hobgoblin has really gone on a mass killing spree. Wow. Mass murderer, which claimed the lives of at least 40 people, including board chairman George Vanderbilt. He killed a lot of people. Well, Georgie boy, we won't be having any problems with you. I'm not sure if this guy should be yapping away like that with the Hobgoblin loose. Vandergill, who served on the boards of several major corporations, still a lot to sift through. True, but you've already uncovered a lot. It's been a productive morning, and I say that as a confirmed night owl. Excuse me? Hello? Hi, Bets. It's Mary Jane and Peter. Come on up. Well, time this little spider was hitting the web. I'll check in tomorrow. That's pretty sneaky there, but that's cool. But Brother Parker needs to check in a little sooner. Just have to retrieve my web pack. Do a quick 2020. Yep, all clear. And Peter Parker can prep for his entrance. Ah, stairwells. Where would I be without him? Bingo. Perfect timing, Tiger. Good morning, dear lady. Watson and I are at your service. God, Holmes is right. Oh, you two. I buzzed up our other legman. You must have all just missed each other downstairs. That was close. How would you have covered my arrival if MJ had come up with the elevator with Flash? Hey, everybody. It's so great to see you. The old gang. Same here, Red. Pete, it was good of you to come, Flash, after all that's happened. Water under the bridge ready. They were together for a little while, Flash and Betty, while he was, what was her name? Vietnamese girlfriend. I think who he hit once also. Hello out there. Same here. Water under the bridge, buddy, and I'll always be here for you. Flash, MJ, and I wanted to thank you for the card. Yeah, the miscarriages. Yeah, well, I've never been good with words, but when I heard that you two lost a baby, I'm really sorry. Thanks. The hurt never really goes away. Because of the Green Goblin, Mary Jane lost a baby. Jesus. Yeah. While the Hobgoblin here is a vicious mass murderer, the Green Goblin took out the love of Peter Parker's life. And I think Gwen was far more up Peter's alley than Mary Jane. Mary Jane was too much of an actress, faking to be happy and very dramatic and so on, a little ditzy at times. And then they give her like a pretty hard backstory, but that was years later, 20 years later at least, if not longer. But yeah, Gwen was just, the way she was introduced, they clashed at first, but she was very intrigued by Peter, and she was a sweetheart. She was as sincere as all get out, unlike Mary Jane. But I guess they try to, I guess Gwen Stacy eyes Mary Jane over the years. And there's a rumor also, by the way, guys, that Gwen Stacy is coming back. I heard that rumor. I don't know what the hell, man. I don't know. Because of the Green Goblin, Mary Jane lost a baby, and because of the Hobgoblin, Ned lost his life. I didn't. I forgot that about the Green Goblin. I guess I think he kidnapped Mary Jane and some others, and I guess she lost the baby. We had to put an end to this now. Um, that's some '90s light right there. That's some real experimentation there. It's way too bright, but whatever. Burns out everyone there. All the ink lines. I want to thank you all for agreeing to help me. It won't be easy. Here's what I've dug up so far. From the tapes of Messendale's murder, police have confirmed that his killer's voice was electronically masked, just like the original Hobgoblins. On autopsy, similar brain abnormalities were found in both Ned and an early Hobgoblin stand-in named Lefty Donovan, but not in Messendale. And Spider-Man is certain that Donovan was brainwashed. When the Hobgoblin, then the Hobgoblin, the real one, brainwashed Ned too? It's a possibility. I can add a little more. A few years ago, I was with the Harry Osborn at the Century Club when Hobgoblin tried to blackmail several of the club's more powerful members, one of them being George Vandergill. The guy who was killed yesterday? You think Hobgoblin was behind that? Could be. Anyway, here's a list of the men Hobgoblin had gone after. What if he did get the goods on some of them? Then one of them might lead us to the Hobgoblin. Right. These men are movers and shakers in business, finance, communications. With a couple of these boys under his thumb, Hobgoblin would have limitless resources. Scary thought. Well, I have a suspect who's not on your list, Jake Conover. He's been asking a lot of suspicious questions. I can't believe that Conover's mixed up in this. Don't be so sure, Peter. Jake did ask the question that set off Messendale at the courthouse, remember? Another suspect that tried to add. Roderick Kingsley's on the list? Really? I used to model for him. I mean, Roddy could be a louse, but sort of a charming louse. There's been rumors of new takeovers in the wind, and the Vanderbilt incident is going to shake up the market a lot. I think we need to give this business angle some consideration. Man, look at the time. No wonder it feels like we've been talking for hours. We have. Don't know about the rest of you, but old Flash is looking forward to getting out and doing a little footwork. Well, before we all go, I have something here for you. Spider-Man gave me these. They're specially encoded spider tracers. He wants each of us to carry one to activate if we run into trouble. That's pretty cool. I don't remember Spider-Man being able to do that. That's pretty cool. Like Jimmy Olsen's watch to call Superman. All right, that's Spider-Man. He thinks of everything. I hope you're right, Flash. Good hunting. Good luck all around. Amen to that. The Hobgoblin has hurt so many people, and you never know what might be lurking out there just out of sight. Again, another suspect. Pretty funny. We have a handful now, but Vander goes out. That's a good Spider-Man. Good pose, and plus the black of the costume, which I don't think Friends went back to the light blue and red. He did after Romita Jr. brought it back. He went back to light blue and red, which prefer this much better. This is the classic look, by the way, of Spider-Man that did go established. Did go in Kirby on that cover, and did go in the interiors on Amazing Fantasy and Amazing Spider-Man number at least 1 to 5, and then it started to get light blue. Now, don't worry, Tiger. I can twist Roddy Kingsley around my little finger. He sounded thrilled when I called him for an appointment. No doubt. Yeah, no doubt. Taxi. Just be careful, kiddo. This isn't an old Thin Man movie, or you're not Nora Charles. Well, not yet. Oh, shut up, Mickey, and give us a kiss. Mary Jane can handle most any situation. She has to be married to me, but I still worry about her. Call me paranoid, but I can't shake the feeling that Norman Osborn might still be alive and involved in this. That does make sense again. Of course. At this point, I'd even believe that Norman would find a way to strike from beyond the grave. And Osborn's not the only possibility. I have plenty of old enemies who might be behind the Hobgoblin. Everyone from the Tinkerer to Jonas Harrow? Some sort of crooked doctor, wasn't he? You think he's mixed up in this? I don't know, Ben. That's cool, Ben Urich here. He became co-opted by Miller and Daredevil. Um, I don't know, Ben. I was hoping you could tell me. Or was he established in Daredevil? I don't know. I don't remember. I can't say for sure. Jimmy Lumberjack, I was Team Gwen. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Have you picked up the new Ultimate line, Sexy Taxi? I got an issue or two. The art was good. I liked it. The story was fine. I think I lost track of it. Um, Mikey gets. I like Gwen better too. Spider-Man Blue makes me cry every time I read it. Now I might have to get that. Um, okay, Mikey. I know of it. I liked that Tim Sale was going for Romita Senior style look. Spider-Man just a little hokey, like his feet on Spider-Man sometimes were a little off and stuff. But I get very particularized with that. But there was a callback to Romita in there to the '60s. Al Pacino, MJ loved Spidey while Gwen loved Peter. Not sure it's that simple. MJ loved Spidey while Gwen loved Peter. Um, did she? She was always playing this bimbo, going with Harry and maybe even, Flash and this and that, and always having the dates. Um, and you got that one moment where, when Peter comes back to his apartment after Green Goblin kills Gwen, and he tells MJ, don't worry, you don't have to stay here. I know you don't like to deal with this stuff, but and she grew up a little. She was about to leave, hurt over it, and then stops and closes the door and is there for Peter, just to be there for him. So that was a little, lift of her character at that moment. And then Tom DeFalco and Ron Friends, it was after Spider-Man was dealing with the Puma, um, where Mary Jane revealed that she knew that Peter was Spider-Man years before, when he was a kid. That was a revelation. Let you know something about her. Jimmy the Lumberjack, Gwen will be a multiverse MacGuffin. Maybe. But they did say that it's the official, real Gwen Stacy. That's the word. Mikey, no, leave Gwen alone. Casada effed her up enough. Oh my God, I know. Jesus Christ. It was him, Michael J. Straczynski, and some others. J. Michael Straczynski? I forgot the name. With Green Goblin and Norman Osborn and Gwen and the children. My God. Oh, man. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. I'm glad I forgot most of it. Um, Thanks, Mikey. Appreciate it. Sharing the link. JEC. Kids in the 90s loved their Thin Man, Nick, and Nora references. That's funny. Okay, word on the street is Harrow performed a lot of illicit surgery on all kinds of super types, and he's virtually dropped out of sight since he made Parole. Plus, I have it on good authority that Spider-Man had a run-in with Harrow at Roxxon installation up in Rye a few weeks ago. So I'm wondering, could there be a corporate angle? Could there be a corporate angle to the Hobgoblin? There is. Did Roxxon have anything to gain from that Nor- Norcom fire? You're the veteran reporter, Ben. What do you think? Am I onto something or am I totally off base? I don't know. Arson seems a little overt for a major corporation like Roxxon. Still, the corporation angle is intriguing. As I recall, Ned Leeds was once working on an expose of the brand corporation. One of Roxxon's subsidiaries come to think of it before Jameson killed the story. Poor Ned. He and Jay Conover were both chasing down corporate crime there for a while. Had quite a competition going. Conover again. Is it possible? I can't believe that he'd be a Hobgoblin connection. Then again, where the Hobgoblin's concerned, things are really what they seem. By the way, that's a classic Peter Parker there. Classic Ditko and even Romita style. Things are really what they seem. Hello, Mr. K. Thank you for seeing me on such short notice. Well, my schedule is tight, but I heard that you wanted to get back into modeling. How could I say no? Time has been very good to you, Mary Jane. Huh. I dare say it has ignored you completely. What a sweet thing to say, thank you. I was glad to hear that you'd recovered from your accident. My dear, I was shot. It's all right to say so. I was in the proverbial wrong place at the wrong time, but fortune has smiled upon me. In business as in health. Kingsley International has expanded from fashion and cosmetics into publishing, electronics. Roderick. Eh? Oh, MJ, you remember my brother Daniel? Daniel, Mary Jane Watson. Hello? We have urgent business, Roderick. Roderick. Yes, well, come around on Monday, love, and I'll see that my bookers find you some work. Thank you. That's odd. I'd always heard that Daniel Kingsley was the one at his brother's beck and call. I wonder who's really in charge. That's an interesting element there that he introduced in terms of also the hair. Elizabeth Allen Osborne, big shot executive. This is awesome. Liz Osborne, Harry Osborne's wife. Well, I think at this time, I think Harry was considered dead, brought back eventually. It's a real mess when they do that. It's just too much, man. It's too much. They kept Gwen dead, and now it looks like they're going to bring her back now. You've come a long ways in senior economics, Liz. It looks good on you. Thanks, Flash. It hasn't been easy learning the family business. No one expected Harry to die so young. Okay, so Harry is dead at this time, at least. He comes back at a certain point. It's a little tedious, really. But it's getting better, and being able to have my son and his nanny close by is such a blessing. Enough about me. What can I do for you? Well, like I said on the phone, I'm trying to help Betty Brant. Oh, yes, this hobgoblin business. Business might be a part of it. So that's a little interesting. They actually gleaned onto that idea that it could be the business aspect, and he could be involved in business somehow. Burning down that company, killing George Vandergoon, and so on. Um, I'll cut to the chase, Liz. Betty thinks that some big corporate takeovers are brewing, and that the real Hobgoblin might be part of them. I don't understand this stuff, but we were wondering if you notice any funny business around here. Flash, this is strictly off the record, but one of our senior executives does have me worried. Maybe it's nothing, but the man was originally hired by Harry's father, Norman, and with all that's happened recently. Miss Osborne, the trouble at the Jersey refinery. Big trouble. Glorious. Ron, simply glorious. but perhaps one more for the road. Ha 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 ha. Boom. Took out one of the factories, I guess, Osborne. Within the hour, Flash. Pete, what are you doing here? I was with Yorick when he got the call from the Bugle. Yeah, well, I may have us another suspect. Anyway, this guy has Liz on edge. I could tell, named Donald Mencken. Yeah, I think uh, I think Roger Stern created him. If looking back, I believe that name sounds familiar at some point. It does sound familiar. Um, Mencken. I met him when Harry was running things. Well, get this. He didn't show up for work today. Called in sick, and now this happens. Miss Osborne, take a look at this. You know how the papers have been full of Hobgoblin news? I think this fragment is from one of his pumpkin bombs. Signing his work now, is he? City desk or Yorick here, stand by. Okay, this eliminates Norman Osborn. No way he would torch his own refinery. But what about Mencken? If he is involved, what could he gain? What could he have to gain from this? J. Michael Straczynski, right? That's right. He had his moments in that run with John Romita Jr., even though some of the stuff was just overwrought. I remember he said something like about Aunt May's voice, it could light the universe, something like that. I was like, what? Okay, calm down. I can't stand that flowery language. I really can't. It's also improper for Peter to speak that way. Very strange. And then some good stuff also. It's just that his dialogue at times was a little off, a little too highfalutin. Again, not for Peter. Peter has to remain Peter, no matter what is going on around him. That's why the Spider-Man TV series, the cartoon, the animated cartoon, just came out recently on Disney Plus. I know the Zeros trashed it pre-release and all that, and I know even some people in comics say this and that. Peter is Peter in there, and that goes a long way with me. If they get him right, okay. I know they said, well, he's just one of the crowd. Everyone tells him what to do. No, he is Peter in there, and some good animation. The costume design is great. It's like the Romita style. And while they race swapped a number of characters unnecessarily, completely, and I understand why you guys wouldn't want to, watch that for that stupidity. Um, it was good. Norman Osborn was good. He was in character. Now the Scorpion they made into this again, like a Tony Montana speaking. Aranya, you got a problem? That didn't work. Matt Gargan is just a he's not an ethnic guy, he's just American, a thug. What would anyone have to gain? But when I called earlier, I was assured that Senator Martin would be in his office all day. I'm sorry, but the senator left early. Well, when do you expect? Wait a minute. That's him going out the side door. Never mind. What? This is a private car. Sorry, Senator. This won't take long. I'm from the Daily Bugle, and we just wanted to get your reactions to the Norcom fire and the death of George Vanderbilt. Don't know him. Never met him. What? But you served together on several boards, Senator. You're mistaken. Never saw the man in my life. A typical politician. Incredible. What would scare Bob Martin that he lies so crudely? Whatever it is, he won't easily be convinced to talk. I think it's time to take bolder measures. This afternoon in New York City Live, we'll be talking with embattled reporter Betty Brant Leeds, who has uncovered evidence she claims exonerates her late husband in the notorious Hobgoblin case. NYC Live, weekdays at 4. Betty is really making a target of herself. I know. For those of you just joining us, Jason Philip Messendale, a convicted murderer who was recently killed in prison under very odd circumstances, accused Betty's late husband, Ned, of actually being the Hobgoblin. Betty, what a nightmare this must be for you. Yes, Katie, but I've been working very hard to clear Ned's name. As you know, my husband was a reporter, too. And before his death, he was conducting an investigation of corruption in big business. His notes had been lost and presumed destroyed. They weren't. I found them. Hey, Conover, where are you going? To right an old wrong. I think there's a connection with Ned's death. I intend to complete his investigation. Another muckraker. They never make it easy. They always force you to play hardball. Yeah, her actions are getting these people a little worried here. I won't stop until the truth is revealed. An investigation? I told you our hobgoblin connection would bring us grief, Roderick. Now what do? Now we must rely upon the hobgoblin to spare us any exposure. Again, the body language of these two brothers here. Before the way you saw him and now. Until Ned's name is cleared and the guilty are behind bars. Blast it all, Robbie. What in blazes does she think she's doing? Well, if that doesn't get the ball rolling, I don't know what will. That was a bold move. There she is, bold as brass. Hey, Betty. What? You and me need to talk. Jacob Conover, what do you think you're doing? Don't play cute with me, Brent. I want those notes you were bragging about. I want them all. You know, Conover, I used to have a lot of respect for you. Huh? Hey. So tell me, how does a guy go from being a distinguished columnist to a common thug? Tell all, and don't hold anything back. Look, I just want what's rightfully mine. Ned Leeds took my research notes before he died, and I never got them back. If she found them, I want them. That's my story she's sitting on. He gives the police the same story. Conover raises nary a tingle of my spider sense. He's clearly no serious threat. He really thinks that he's the victim here, and darned if I don't believe him. Do you want to press charges, Miss Leeds? Charges? Well, please, no. This was a gutsy plan, Betsy. Too bad it went bust. Well, here we go. I never meant any harm. It's just I poured years into that research. It killed me to lose those notes. You got to believe me. It's all right, officer. Thanks for your assistance, but I think Mr. Conover and I can work this out ourselves. Okay, ma'am. If you're sure. Whoa. Danger coming. High and inside. Razor bats. Look out. So, Spider-Man. And fast as ever, I see. Son of a... Well, Hobby. Well, hobble my webs and call me shaky. Betty's scheme flushed out a dirty bird after all. Get her out of here. Check. But no buts. We're not equipped to deal with flying maniacs. Great attitude by that cop. Hey, Bright Eyes, don't go running off on my account. Whose little goblin are you anyway? Oops. That answers my question. I do believe this is the genuine article. I like that. He's not losing me this time. Oh, he floats through the air with the greatest of ease, that daring young man without trapeze. Hey, guess who? That's pretty damn cool. You know, you really should see a doctor about that jaundice, insufferable as ever. But your wit will do you no good. Hey, I didn't know you had a reverse on this thing. Oh, I've made all manner of improvements. Again, that's smart. Little things like that. Gah! High voltage capacitor horns? Spider-Man? Shocking, aren't they? Ha 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 ha. Oh man, hurts like a million hot needles. Can't let go, can you? No matter. The whole section can be jettisoned. Bon voyage. That's pretty cool. Dangerous as ever. Next issue, Secrets, the final fateful conclusion. Thanks, guys. Let me see something here. Okay, yeah, I mentioned I want to show you some ads I had. This is something for a future issue of Pigman. This is Frank Warner as a young boy, his first encounter with Jihad. I just want to give a little glimpse of what's coming ahead. This is when he decided, you know, in his own mind, I think I'm part of something bad here, even as a young kid. Part of Islam. That was the first feeling I had. By the way, this is a new trailer for Superman is coming out tomorrow. I like this poster. I hope it's good. Here's Roy, you know, always ripping. He's got some harsh opinions, Roy. I like it. I mean, you know, he's free to share it all on my threads and also even on here. Pretty harsh. Guy looks like a gay twink. He wears that classic Reeve Eastwood Cavill smile. This guy's got beta lips. It's funny. I think he'll be a good Superman. He has a good voice. He's 6'4". He's built like a rock, even though they give him this awkward rubber suit over him. But the trailer does come out tomorrow, the first full trailer. So the first time we'll see exactly um, what James Gunn has in mind. I got this ad also. Pigman exploiting these lumping enemies' bigotry with pigskin leather. It's fun. Huh. David Smith. I won the debate with Douglas Murray. That's another thing. I will continue the Hobgoblin series soon. I'll finish it up actually. 18,000. Thank you very much, Jimmy. Appreciate it. You knocked me right over. Thank you. That's very, very cool. I'm going to post about that later. Thank you, man. Let me show you the trailer to Pigman. Those who haven't ordered it, I'm going to work on it now. Shant did a kick-ass job. He really, really did. Appreciate the hell out of it. And I do want to show, I hope you guys can hear me. I think you can, but let's see. I do want to show also my first trailer. My name is Bosch, and I'm a recovered Muslim. I was born to a My name is Bosch, and I'm a recovered Muslim. I was born to Albanian Muslim parents in the Bronx, New York, and I forgot about Islam for years. 9/11 hits, and it all comes back to me. And that's when I decided, okay, I'm going to respond to this with my art. I'm going to exploit the Islamic enemy's bigotry. And I wanted to have this big force of nature wrapped in pigskin leather and go after him. He's an ex-Muslim himself, like me. And just go out there and pummel them out of existence. It's based on my life, my reaction to 9/11, my Muslim background, and then I bring that forth to the brothers and the twin brothers in there. One is a recovered Muslim, one is a born-again Muslim, and one of the brothers, the recovered Muslim, creates a comic book called Pigman within the story. He's my stand-in. This is a special edition of Pigman #1. It has bonus material, extended scenes. So I just want to thank you for taking your time to listen to this and consider getting Pigman #1. Thank you. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate your time looking over that. And let's check out some comments here. Mikey Getz, I liked Superman Earth 1 that he wrote. I wish Shane would talk about how it was working with him one day. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I remember not liking Shane's version of Superman. It was like emo style. I know, I mean, I'm just gonna, I gotta say those things. It's true, but I do like his art in Inglorious Rex. It's, it's really, really good. Maybe we could talk about that one day and what he felt about that. Who knows? I mean, the reaction, it was good. I mean, at least story wise, I believe, if I remember correctly, I haven't read that in years, but Alpha Channel says, I heard someone say, quote, they will never race swap the Incredible Hulk. I laughed so hard. That's right. That's right. Then they have the Asian guy. It's hilarious. At least the Asian guy. Who knows what else since? I don't even know. JEC. I hated the animation style. Of what, JEC? Are you talking about something there in terms of the what you mentioned there before? Oh, the Spider-Man things. Yeah, I mean, people did, and they expressed that, and it's too hokey, it's too 60s style. That's the appeal to me, that it's a throwback, truly a throwback to that classic Romita style. And there's a consistency, there's an appeal to Peter the way he's drawn. It looks a little like a Romita Senior with a little more younger, nerdier version, but it has that consistency factor, the way they draw his face, and I like it. I like it. Hamilton Burger. Oh, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, where Peter was the only or one of the few white characters. It's true. It's true. And I understand, again, people who are put off by that. Um, I watched it. I give it a chance just to see, and I like the way they portray Peter. That to me is the key. If you get him right, I think you can deal with the other stuff. As long as they're written well, you could deal with the color bullshit that these hacks put in there. Because on a fundamental level, it's pure surface DEI crap. It's pure surface. Um, Capacitor. Thanks, Hamilton. Capacitor. Maybe I haven't come across the word capacitor. Appreciate it. Alpha Channel said, I can practically hear the Ray Ellis soundtrack. To what, Alpha Channel? They move the camera too much with this new cell shaded stuff, I think. Did you guys see the Watchmen, the animated version of Watchmen? The recent one? It was pretty good. It was pretty good. The part one and two. I don't know why they put it in part one and two. They did the same thing with The Dark Knight Returns. It's like, it's not that long, guys. Put it into one movie. Keep it together. It's like, they did with the Doomsday Clock. Like, okay, part one's a hardcover. Part one? Do the whole thing. What the hell? Why separate them? I know why they want to make more profit, but it's just stupid for the reader also. They never did that with Watchmen. It's a long graphic novel. Dark Knight Returns, over 200 pages. Watchmen, I think it could be about 300. They didn't do that. Mikey gets, I was wondering about that piece. It's a good teaser. Yeah. You mean the Superman teaser? Or Alpha Channel, good job with a child illustration, Bosch. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. That was actually something 2005, guys. If you remember the Beslan massacre in Russia, the Beslan massacre, one of the most horrific jihadist attacks ever recorded. Oh my God! These savages, these Chechens, these jihadists took over a school, and they did unspeakable things to the children in there. They killed parents and teachers. They had hundreds of people in this huge room, I guess the auditorium. They were starving after 3 days, peeing in their shoes and drinking them so they can have some liquid. And that's what sparked the first encounter with Frank Warner and jihad. And some of the things that those kids said, if you go back and watch any of those things, guys, I think it's more or less been erased from history in a lot of ways. It really has. It's horrific. It shouldn't be forgotten. It's the 20th anniversary this year of the Beslan massacre, and the things some of those kids said were things like, "If I had the power, I wish an Iron Man would come. I wish Harry Potter would come and save us." They were hoping, and they were self-conscious. They were very, very young children, self-conscious about it. They said, we're not the same anymore. You know, we look at each other, we're not the same. We're not who we were yesterday. And they were saying this explicitly. It's heartbreaking stuff. And that's what sparked the first encounter of Frank Warner with Jihad. And that was the first time he started thinking about what he was involved with, Islam, his parents. And that takes him out of Islam and become a writer against Islam Jihad for years. He became an intellectual, telling the truth about it. That was his goal until 9/11, when he realized, and when he saw Bush say Islam is peace, he was like, this guy just fucked our war effort. He shouldn't be talking about Islam at all. Unleash our soldiers on those who killed. That's all. Shut your trap. And the intellectuals followed suit. They said the same thing. But you got rats also, like scumbags, like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, all these scum, trying to suggest that Islam was given a bad rap after 9/11. It's like, fuck you. All we heard after 9/11 was Islam means peace. That's all I heard. It was infuriating. And this idea, this revisionist history of where, Islam, we were told how bad it was. We were taught in school. What a lying whore, Candace Owens. We were taught in school how evil Islam is. And she said to this Muslim piece of shit guest that she was with, I apologize on behalf of all Americans for that. That's a sickening lie. A sickening lie. Disgusting. Thanks, Alpha. Yeah, I mean, children, people say it's tough. Just, you don't make them small adults. Give them a little bigger head, a little thinner neck, smaller body. That's just the way it is. And you can get them right. Hamilton Berger, the backlighting makes Superman's head look a little thinner, maybe giving him that twink look in the poster. It's maybe it is. It's interesting also in terms of the guys who played Superman, even Cavill and Cornsweet, the current one. Their necks aren't what, Christopher Reeve had a thick neck. There's something about that. There's something about that that's good for the character. You give that bold look where it's like the silhouette is strong with a really good, strong neck. Cavill didn't have that, and neither does Cornsweet. They're big guys, but they didn't have that kind of neck, which I think, again, is really good to have for especially a superhero. And his ears they stick out pretty much with the Cornsweet. But I think he'll be a good Superman. I've seen interviews with him. I think he'll be a good Superman. He has a good voice. Again, he's 6'4". He's as tall as Christopher Reeve was, which is the first, Superman since Christopher Reeve who's that big. I think Brandon Routh was 6'3". Henry Cavill, I think, is 6'1". But he filled up that suit well. Henry Cavill was a great Superman. It's just unfortunate that he had a guy who's not as interested in a story like Zack Snyder. Trevor, 18,000. Let's get to 20,000. Absolutely. Thanks, Trevor. Thanks, Hamilton. Appreciate it. We can hear you. Absolutely, Trevor. I want to get further and further and further. I want to get to a bigger number clearly than I have, and we'll see, because I want to get more books out there. My whole point is to get the books out there as much as I possibly can, as many readers as I can, and just basically show that once they read it, I believe, once you guys read it, I'm hoping you'll like it enough to spread the word. Word of mouth will be, I think, a key selling point in this after the fact. Right now, it's just some of you guys are buying it on faith. Some of you guys are buying it. You like my videos, maybe my appearances on Kings. But you don't know. You don't know. And I just hope when you do find out that you'll be willing to jump to issue 2, because that's what I'm hoping for and counting on. Again, Hamilton Berger says, someone, Frog Tony maybe, was asked an interesting question. Is Pigman a hero? He certainly isn't a villain, but he does deliberately kill a lot more than most traditional comics superheroes. Can you tell me where that was? Was that on his show? And why are they asking him and not me? That's interesting. Maybe one of these trolls, but he is a hero. Our soldiers are heroes. Our soldiers who go out there and kill mass murderers, those are heroes. This idea that heroes don't kill, the fuck are you talking about? The guy who killed Osama bin Laden is a hero. Those who kill mass murderers and savages are heroes. Pigman's a hero. You know, and not only does he kill these guys, he saves people also. He saves someone who wrote terrible things about him. And he didn't even know about him. He was like, yeah, sure. I don't even know who you were, but let's go. You know, he saves this woman from being thrown into a burning building in Saudi Arabia because they want to throw her into there to get her scarf because she doesn't have her scarf. And what does he do? He throws those guys into the fire. And she says, thank you, whispering. He smiles. He saves a baby, you know, from this one. There are things in there where killing terrorists saves lives. That's heroism to me, because the more of these scumbags you kill, and not murder, they murder, you kill, meaning they're murderers, and killing murderers saves lives. Killing terrorists saves lives. And he does a lot of killing. Absolutely, there's no doubt about it. He doesn't leave wherever he goes in those caves and those high rises with the sponsors of jihad that he kills also. They're as guilty to him as a jihadist. And they say, I'm not a terrorist. He goes, you pay terrorists to kill men, women, children, and babies. Takes that guy's neck, breaks it, picks up the baby out of the guy's hands, brings him to a better life. And, you know, anyone can argue the moral qualms of that. Hey, go for it. That's what these stories are for. Challenge me. Challenge yourself. I remember I got some heat from a reader over that. He couldn't quite square it. And I was like, that's cool. I'm not offended by those things, because these things are serious things. They shouldn't be easily, oh, great. I don't think so. I think you should think about it. And also, this question that you bring up here, Hamilton, also, that Frog Tony got, is Pigman a hero? He is. He most definitely is. And he kills monsters. You know, he kills those who slaughter, mass murder innocents. And the way you stop them from mass murdering innocents is not by punching them out and walking away, you know, putting them in jail and let them get out. You kill them. As the Punisher tells Daredevil at one point, you punch them, they get back up. Me, I punch, whatever, however, how he put it. I hit them and they don't come back up. On that level, deal with terrorists. That's the thing. And I remember some people were like, he just kills Muslims. He what? He what? He kills Muslims? No, dummy. His enemy is two enemies, meaning one is Islam, that motivates jihad, and those, its most true believers, its most devout followers. That's his enemy. That's who he goes after. He doesn't go after Muslims per se. He doesn't do that. Now, Muslims sometimes, you know, hurt themselves when they try to, you know, he tries to fly away at one point where he's really hurting. And these guys are climbing on him to try to, you know, pound him into submission. And he's like, I'm wearing pigskin leather. They're like, oh my God. And they let go. And he goes like, suicidal bigotry, only in Islam. You know, so things like that. That guy put himself in that position like an idiot. But yeah, he does kill. There's no doubt about it. And, you know, Nexus kills. I love that about Nexus. He's an intergalactic, you know, assassin who kills these mass murderers. I think those type of heroes are necessary. You'll never put Superman or Batman in the face of these mass murderers. They want to protect those heroes. I don't want to protect Pigman. I want to throw him into the darkest pit and see what comes out. That's what I want to do. I want to test him. I want to, you know, test his own humanity and how does he feel about this, and so on. But he knows he's on a righteous mission. It's even referred to as that by his greatest enemy, who was also his greatest friend prior to that. He tries to, you know, seduce him to the dark side. He tries to bring him in, like Vader tried to bring in Luke, to remind him, you were part of this. He goes, you're righteous. You're a righteous man. You belong with us. And he goes, at one point, Super Jihad tells him, he goes, life ends, Frank, but death death lasts forever, but only to the righteous. The idea being that paradise and that you belong there, and this unnecessary conflict, Vader style, and join us. And then you'll see Frank's response, Pigman's response. Apple Channel, nice, Bosch, class. Not sure what you're referring to, Alpha. Apologize. Lots of context. Jimmy the Lumberjack. It's exciting to be part of CG right now. A lot of great campaigns are going on in 2025. Young Guns, Bosch, and Shanth. Hail Pigman. Thank you, man. Young Guns. What is that? Is that a series, Jimmy? Mikey, guess you think Shanth will make your piece of cover too? I'm not sure, Mikey, especially after John's. I mean, I don't, I'm not even pretending that mine came close to a John's. Mine's more of I guess, my take on spring ball. It's like I just like the idea of him looking at the spring ball to spring ball or not to spring ball. That is the question, like a Hamlet style thing. And if you don't know what Mike is referring to, here's my drawing of spring ball. I just wanted to do something interesting and more, I guess, heroic looking at the spring ball. And I still have to ink it. I got to get on that. I had to do a number of things today. And I'm also making a move, so that's cutting into some stuff. If you want to support me, guys, also you can go to my website, boschfawson.com. There's a donate button. You guys can't send any more super chats. I've been demonetized, unfortunately. I was able to be monetized last month or 2 months ago, and now I'm demonetized. It's not on there anymore. I wasn't notified about anything, by the way. That's not cool. So if you want to, outside of backing Pigman, you can go to my website, and also you can order my Muhammad flipbook, which I'm getting the proof supposedly tomorrow. That's what I heard. That's what I heard from my printer. So I'll be getting the proof. I'll be testing it out myself. If it works, and then I'll be getting them out to all of you who order them. So thank you. Trevor Hamiltonberger, is the Punisher a hero? The Shadow, Spawn? It's only modern 60s nonsense that makes a silly conceit. Captain America didn't lecture Nazis into submission. Absolutely, Trevor. This idea also that Captain America was punching out Nazis. No. Captain America was killing them. I love that in the movie version, when Cap was going after Nazis, he had a machine gun, he had guns, he was shooting these Nazis dead, killing them. He was killing them. He's a super soldier. Super soldier. That's what he is. That's a hero. Batman in Dark Knight Rises, killing Bane's guys, killing them. Does that make him not a hero now? Superman breaking Zod's neck. I know that's considered the worst thing that ever happened, which is pathetic. I remember I cheered when I saw that because I know it was the impossible. It's like, well, in that context, you had to do that. That's it. You couldn't allow that family to be. It's like, well, I don't kill. Okay, I don't kill, and letting people die. No, it's retarded, morally retarded. And the only thing when you hear these scum like Mark Wade and Grant Morris and other piece of shit commies talk about heroes, the only virtue they mention, not killing. That makes him a hero. Fuck you. Fuck you. Not killing. That's not a moral standard. That's not a morality. That's not a philosophy. Not killing? No. Saving lives, and sometimes it requires to kill those who are slaughtering people. That's how you stop those. That's how you save lives sometimes. There was one issue, they made into this, a moral dilemma. A guy was about to open fire on a crowd. And Captain America watched it and was like, no, shot. He shot the guy. I think he killed him. He was like, nah, Cap, the old school Cap would not. He would righteously do that and say, hey, that's all I was able to do. Daredevil, Born Again. Mainstream Marvel, 1987. I believe 87. Helicopter nukes handler, shooting innocent lives on the street in Hell's Kitchen. Matt picks up that machine gun and says, "Forgive me." Boom, 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 shoots the guy dead, kills him. He's no longer a hero at that point? No, he is. Wolverine's with the X-Men. Years, decades upon decades upon decades, he kills. He's not a hero? No, he is. Superman, John Burns, the version. When the Earth 2, Zod and his crew killed billions of people, billions, and then wanted to threaten Superman that they're going to go to his Earth and kill the same. And Superman makes a decision. He kills them, exposes them to deadly kryptonite, kills them. All of a sudden, he's not a hero? No. It's the point about the excess killing, the Batman killing guys who were not really killers type thing in Dark Knight Returns, maybe. Sorry, in Batman vs Superman, that's sloppy Zack Snyder. Batman doesn't kill uncontrollably. Batman, believe me, man, I'm gonna kill her. Believe me, I'm gonna kill her. Believe me, I believe you. Boom, 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 boom. That's it. And they can pretend that, well, we found it out. He didn't. He killed him. He killed that guy. He's not a hero now. No. In those extreme situations, what are you gonna do? And then also you have a little dark humor about it. Pigman at one point um, takes this guy, this jihadist, who's threatening him on video, and Pigman comes behind him and just puts his head into his body, so his head is crushed within his shoulders, and his eyeballs bulge out, and he's on the ground convulsing before he dies. And then the cameramen, the Muslim cameramen, are like, "Oh my God, don't let him touch you!" About Pigman because of pigskin leather. And I put that one panel that I do. If you notice, Table for One, and also Pigman, where I put a panel within characters sometimes, so you can see through them to see what's happening in front of them. And they smash this glass and fall to their deaths, 100, 200 feet, whatever it was. And Pigman looks down and he looks back. He goes, "What a waste of glass!" That's funny to me. And these guys deserve no consideration. There's no like, "Oh, that's so terrible." No. These guys are with terrorists. They are terrorists. Again, even the money men, he goes after. He doesn't let them off the hook. Okay, well, they didn't technically directly kill them. It doesn't matter. Osama bin Laden didn't fly the plane into the Twin Towers. He's as guilty. So it's a moral. I'm willing to have that argument, guys. That moral issue. It is a moral argument. I'm willing to have it. I don't want it to be clean either. Again, I want to put my heroes in positions that challenge them. I'm not going to keep them safe. I throw them into the fire and see what they're made of. It's deadly important for any writer to really throw everything you can at your hero and see if they stand up to it. See what they're made of. So it's a question worth having. It's a conversation worth having about what is a hero and what makes him not a hero at that point. The killing thing is absolute pussy leftism talking. Pacifists like that fruit goddamn Mark Wade, who let it be known after he saw Man of Steel on his blog. "Oh my God!" I was like, "No, no, no!" It's like, what a bitch! What an absolute bitch! It's like what he's saying is that he would allow that family to be slaughtered by Zod without a second thought, in order to, hey man, it's like Superman can say, "Hey, I still kept my code while they're charred. This family, I kept my code. That's it. Don't kill." No, it's like this idea where the Nazis come to your door and say, "Is your family here?" "Yes, yes." "Hey, man, I was honest. I kept my integrity. Honesty. I was honest," while they kill your family. Sickening, sickening. But that's what people in their mind believe truth is. The idiot, Brian Michael Bendis, has the FBI and the media, whatever, they revealed his identity to the world, right? Matt, as Daredevil. They walk up to him and the media asks, "Are you Daredevil?" "No." And it was like a big deal. And Brian McNamara, he's a liar. It's like, he's what? No, they violated his privacy. They violated his right. They violated the safety of his friends. Of course he's going to say no. But they try to make it into a moral issue as Matt's a liar. He's a bad. No, you idiots. That's a sacred secret that he has to keep, protect himself and his friends and loved ones. He has to. So I hate that stuff. I fucking hate it. Those are unserious people. Unserious people. As what's his name in Succession would say, Logan Roy. You're unserious people. I think, yeah, I think it's how you put it. You're not serious people to his children, and they weren't. If you saw that show, also, by the way, the ending is just spot on. What happens? Spot on. Considering the nature of the characters, what they wanted, what they were willing to do, and so on. Um, a just ending. A just ending. I know people didn't like it. Well, no, it was a just ending. People got what they deserved, and so on. Alpha Channel. Ray Ellis did the soundtrack to the '60s. Oh, okay, Spider-Man. Yeah, they put elements of that in the new Spider-Man cartoon, and of course, it goes into shit rap. But it starts off with that Spider-Man thing, and then it goes into rap stuff. So, yeah, Happy's Fun House. Hey, Happy. Hey, Bosch. Found anything cool at the comic shop lately? No, I did not. I did not. Um, I am looking tomorrow to see what's out there. Um, I am, reluctant to, but I am. The Hobgoblin's going to be back in the new thing, and I got to see it, man. I got to see it. I got to see how they handle the Hobgoblin since I'm on this Hobgoblin kick. So I'm gonna look into that. But I'm always looking. I'm always looking. Looking at Independence. I'm looking in Dark Horse and DC, and even some Image. Maybe might be little nuggets there. Marvel and DC as well. Um, Mikey, yeah, I liked it for the most part. They broke up Doomsday Clock because they needed the trade money. 100%. That's why. Jimmy to Mikey gets, yes, adding a cover for the closeout can help a push. I know it would pick it up for sure. Definitely, guys. That's why I do have some ideas. I do have some ideas, but I don't want to discuss them until I have a better handle on it. A better handle on it. Hamilton says to Trevor, the difference to me is more than semantic. There's a difference between Batman who lets his foes live and Punisher who does not, even though both are motivated by vengeance. Yeah, well, that's the thing, Hamilton. Punisher is, he kills them all. That's a difference. That's a tough thing because sometimes he kills people who are relatively petty criminals. I don't know if they deserve it. Jihadists? Yeah, no second thought for Big Man or for me, as I am, you know, trying to direct Pigman from my moral position. Um, Killing terrorists saves lives. That's one of his codes, and it's true, and it does. Um, Happy's for us. Do you plan on including mentions of Islamic attacks like Beslan in Pigman? Sorry, guys. Um, I guess. I mean, but I'm going to pay homage to the victims of Beslan in that upcoming issue where Frank is one of those kids. Not in Beslan, but it's in a school setting with jihadists. And I'm going to allude to the unspeakable things that happen. I don't like to I don't like to show unnecessary obscene things. I don't like that. I don't care for that. Not in art that I read or experience, or not in, especially in mine. I just don't do it. And again, you can call that whatever you want. That's not my thing. I can allude to them. I can suggest them. I can imply. I'm just not going to go explicit. It's something about that. You know, I don't blink. I mean, some people think Pigman's too violent. That's their thing. Cool. That's fine. Part of me is like, all right, if you think so, good. That means I didn't pull back too much. And again, I'm not out here to pull back. I'm just here to make a threat that we are all facing, pay a price for it in a serious way, to show, them getting it in the way they deserve, the way that we're not seeing it in real life. These guys are running a roughshod over the world, getting away with murder. And we're pretending that we're dealing with two camps: the good Muslims, 80%, and the 20, maybe 10% of bad. No, we're dealing with ideology that motivates these murderers, and its true believers are the evil problem. Not the passive ones aren't the actual legitimate ones. They're the illegitimate ones, the quote unquote moderate Muslims. Anyway, um, Hamilton Berger says the newer Superman actors definitely don't have those football player necks. They don't. Reeves, Christopher Reeve did. That was a big, because you look at Christopher Reeve in silhouette, it's like, oh, that's Superman. These other guys, you might not be 100% sure that that's Superman. There's something about that, having that, that thick neck that goes with your jawline. There's something about it. It adds to that iconic look of Superman, the way it ought to be drawn. Um, Bruce Campbell's chin. The scene in the OG Superman movie where he reveals himself to Lois was amazing. All he did was lift his head without the glass in. It made all the difference. Yeah, that's right. Are you talking about when he has an interview with Lois? And Lois, I was thinking that Lois, I have something to tell you, where he changes that and then puts it back. Well, I was thinking that. Um, Funny. Also, the scene where he actually does give it up to her, his secret identity at the Niagara Falls hotel, and you see him, he just fills up the spaces in a lot more. That was good stuff. Happy Funhouse. How do you feel about James Gunn being the head of DC Studios? Do you have any faith in his tenure? I don't know Happy's Funhouse. I don't know. Um, I liked I liked the Guardians movies. I didn't like Super. I thought it was indulgent shit and retarded to the point where he had a guy. He was in line at a movie theater, and this is the stupidity of James Gunn thinking like, when I'm in line at movies and someone cuts or something, that's like the biggest crime because I love movies, and therefore I'm gonna have my character take a crowbar and smash the guy on the skull and crack his skull, and that'll be a good, no, that's stupid. That's not a hero. I don't know if he has the hero. I don't know if he has the heroic in him. I don't know. I know he has schmaltz. I know he tries to work that into his movies, and pretty successfully. He gets the emotion a little with animals and cute things, and a little too schmaltzy at times. I know he has that. Does he have the heroic in him that is required to pull off Superman? I don't know. I don't know. I'm afraid that he might undermine the heroism of Superman. I'm afraid he might do that. He called like Superman's like the big galoot. No, he's not, dummy. No, he's not. He's not a galoot. That implies a little simple-minded, a little dumb. He's not a galoot. I don't like that. And I don't know if even David Coruscant can pull that off, that he's galoot. He seems like an intelligent guy who can speak well, and he has a wherewithal. He has something about him. So even if that was his intention, I don't know. I don't know Happy Funhouse, but we're gonna find out soon. I didn't mind his cartoon as much. I forgot what it's called now. There were elements that were good. It was pretty engaging, and it at least got me to want to watch the next episode. It did get that. So I'm hoping that Superman will be good. I'm hoping that he stepped up and got a little outside of himself to match Superman. I hope he did that, because if he did that, it might succeed. Because to me, I don't know if he has the heroic in him. I don't think he does. I don't think he does, but I did like the Guardians movies. I thought they were entertaining. If you could bring some of that. And again, the schmaltz is there. I'm a little worried about that, to try to get in a very manipulative way to try to get you emotionally involved. There are ways to do it without being so gruesome about it, so in your face about it. I hope he gets there. But again, it looks like he has a good cast. It looks like, and it's the first time we will see a quote unquote auteur making Superman, the guy who writes it and directs it. The first time. That's interesting. It's full commitment on his part. I don't think he wants to fuck it up. I think he knows this is the icon of DC. No matter what anyone says about Batman, more probably whatever, Superman is the icon of DC. Spider-Man is the icon of Marvel. You got to get him right. And maybe he went above and beyond and kicked ass. I hope that's a case. I hope that's a case. Happy. We will see. We will see. Hamilton Berger says, I think Frog Tony was making a point on a live stream about how he thought that comic heroes shouldn't kill, and someone asked him about Pigman in that context. I meant no offense with the question. No offense taken, Hamilton, at all. At all. I wasn't directed towards you. I was directed towards certain people who try to, I think, diminish the heroism of those who do at times kill and feel that they have to. You know, like again, Daredevil, Batman, Superman, at times when they have to, in order to save lives. Captain America, in order to save lives. That's the whole thing. In order to save lives. No offense taken at all. Zero. And I think Frog Tony's wrong about that, but you know, we can have that argument also. Once I have it, get me on. You know, we'll go back and forth. And again, it's not the gratuitous killing at times I think Zack Snyder would engage in, because he's not that bright. It's not gratuitous killing, but it is knowing that if you're gonna, it's a war going on against jihad. You're not gonna punch them out. You're gonna kill them, put them down forever, so they can never kill again. And then also, what that does on a psychological level is get the other guys to look at that and say, holy shit, I don't want to end up like those guys. And then not only did they get killed, but they got pounded down by pigskin leather. They lost their chance to get to paradise. In their twisted mind, that's what they believe. That's why it's a psychological tool for Pigman. It's not just a funny pun. You know, he exploits their bigotry. It's true. They can't stand it. You know, and then idiots tell me sometimes, like, yeah, Jews don't like it. Pig. It's like, yeah, they might not like it. Muslims hate it. Hate it. We were moderate Muslims growing up. I mean, me and my family, okay? Passive, lax Muslims. Someone bought the wrong bologna, they got their ass kicked. Is that a passive thing? Is that a light thing? Is that I just don't like it? No. That's an aggressive hatred. A pig comes on television. My mother recoils. Oh, disgusting. You know, I know that firsthand. So again, Hamilton, no offense, please. I love being challenged on these things, and I mean that. I know people say that. I actually mean that. I want people to be a little uneasy about certain things. Like, you know what? I'm not sure, Pigman, if you did that right, if that was the right thing to do. And then give me an opportunity to explain to you what I was thinking and why. Stormtrooper Julian Caesar, hey Bosch, would a Muslim not be allowed to touch you because of your pigskin watch, or is it they just can't touch anything from pigs directly? It's something that in their mind or lack thereof, they think that it taints them. It taints them. They can't get to paradise but after being tainted. It's the filthiest creature on earth. And I find it funny. I'll also ask Muslims, hey, why did Allah create the pig? You know, it's so great. I say, you know why? Because the pig was here before the imagination of Muhammad created Allah. That's why. So it's funny. But yeah, they're not to be in contact. It's not just eating. You know, people say, oh, and then Muslims try to pretend to me that they're not bothered. I'm not, I don't hate pigs. I don't care. I'm not afraid of them. It's like, yeah, you are. And you're coping too hard about that. And the ones who come to me with that are scared shit about pigs. I'll tell you one thing, if I had a piece of bacon on me and they were talking to me in front of me, if I took that bacon and put it across their face, they would be like, ha ha ha. They'd be screaming and going to wash it off as soon as they possibly can. And maybe kill me before they do that, or try to at least. So it's something that they lose their shot to go to paradise. So again, it works on a psychological level, and also the name Pigman. But they don't call him, if you notice in the story, they don't call him Pigman. They don't use that name because even saying it is distasteful to them. They call him the Beast. They put a separation, you know, like he's the Beast, like. And also, Super Jihad is a little smarter than the others. So, you know, he talks about his inverted jihad. Because you're fighting an inverted jihad. That's what you're doing, you know. Interesting stuff, man. I just, when I think about these things, and you know, I feel the same that Miller felt after 9/11, after he was working on Holy Terror, which was originally a Batman story, that you can't create villains as evil as this. I can't. the things they're willing to do. And again, we don't know how the half of it. The things aren't reported, and even decent people don't want to report it. There's an obscene quality to their violence that you shake to your core when you hear what they're willing to do. They want to prove their inhumanity to you, that you won't ever go there and we will. And that's their attempt to terrorize those that they oppose. And that's why they need something like Pigman to be scared shit over, to run for their lives, to slit their own throats and shoot themselves in the head, even though that's forbidden as well in Islam, suicide. But in their mind, like, yeah, but if he touches me and kills me, I won't go to paradise. So I'm fighting him, but he's right there, so And there's funny stuff like that also. Believe it or not, there's humor in these things. He roasts them before he kills them also. Um, Happy's fun on us. Does Pigman have any superpowers like heightened smell or super strength? It's not superpowers, it's his suit that he soups up as he goes on. The same thing with the super jihad. He starts off with a bulletproof suit, overall bulletproof suit, but it hurts when they shoot him, and strength. And then a few issues in, flight, and so on and so on. And he adds to it. He keeps adding to it, a la Batman's Iron Man type thing. Um, he doesn't have it's not any supernatural powers. It's all his mind and Supergiant as well. These guys are geniuses, both of them. But there's a little Supergiant has a little edge. He figured out how to fly before Frank, and Frank's like, fuck. And he's like, if he can fly. And then he goes in his basement and he works on this, the Manhattan Project. He works on the Pig Manhattan Project. And he's drinking that coffee. He's out there for months. And next thing you see him, he's floating. And I'm going to expand that scene, actually expand it, make it a little more impactful. Um, Whether it's influenced by Comics Aid, by the Kings, just by the idea I get a second chance maybe to make these moments as effective, as impactful as I can. Um, Mikey gets, how many pages do you have planned for Pigman 1? Over 60, Mikey. It could be a few more. I'm still working out the splash pages and double page spreads. I'm still working that out. And also the connective page or two that I'll need between issue 1 and 2, which will make up issue 1. I'm not going to break them up into chapters like I did the old ones. It'll be its own. It'll be issue 1 and issue 2, and that's it. And issue 2 will be the full issue 3, which is already pig sized. So over 60 pages for sure, Mikey, for sure. It'll be a substantial size, a pig size. Jimmy Lumberjack, Young Guns, my reference to the new artist with big time talent in ACG. Oh, cool. Very, 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 very cool. I ordered a book. I forget what it was called now, that Graham Nolan brought to my attention on X. I ordered it. I should be getting it soon. It looked really fun. Really fun. A guy with alligators, something like that. I forgot the name, but it looks really fun. I ordered Sean Salter's Salty Ben Franklin book. I ordered Seven Sunsets. I forgot the full name, but it looks really good. And I'm actually, if you don't know, guys, I'm doing something for that also. Very, very cool. Something different for me, and something that I much look forward to getting finished. Yes, Hamilton Burger, very Hamlet or Rodin. I defer to yours and Trevor's superior comics knowledge. I am admittedly new to comics and don't know much about pre-90 stuff, though I do enjoy Punisher. Punisher's a great character. I may mention the old day Garth Ennis had a Punisher once go to the birthday party of this old scumbag gangster and shoot him dead. and then go out and he made a ditch for himself when he was chased by all the mafiosos, and he killed them all. And then he goes to all their funerals and kills even more. That's ruthless. Uh, is some of that fire going to hit at innocence? Maybe, maybe. Um, there's there's a moment I think in Pigman which I think a number of people will have a problem with, and I'm good with that. I'm I'm good with that. I think it's one of the most ruthless things I've ever had a character do or have ever seen a superhero do. Um, but I think it's necessary. I think it's necessary, and you will see that at one point. It's a big moment, and it changes a lot of things, and also it gets it Pigman into a world of hurt, not psychologically, not by him feeling bad about what he did, but about something that happens because of that. And he's put in a position where he's very vulnerable. And I'll stop there. I can talk about this for hours. I love it. Um, Mikey gets Bosch is on the Batman Kill Joker team. LOL. Uh, I mean, how many people has the Joker killed, Mikey? The way Miller's Joker in Dark Knight, he killed hundreds in that audience. Hundreds. Leave him alive to kill more, you know? As Batman puts in there, all those I murdered by letting you live. Strong line. At some point, he's got to be put down like a mad dog that he is. At some point. So yeah, my Batman, if I were to write him, I absolutely would have killed the Joker, no doubt about it. Hail Art. Just back down Lawless cover. Sounds too good. Yeah, very. I got that also. I think I ordered Dance as well. I must have ordered Dance for sure. I definitely ordered Dance. Salty and Co are getting wild on a closeout stream. Hi, Mike in chat. Very very cool. I gotta pop in there to see what's going on. Thanks for the heads up. Trevor says to Hamilton Burger, it's hippie nonsense that equivocates killing and murder. A hero removes the threat to the innocent. 100%, Trevor. And I made that distinction very clear 20 years ago when I was on these chat rooms, Joe Quesada's forum. Yeah, I was battling it out with a lot of these rats. Funny stuff. Murder and killing are two different things. You know, two different things. You kill murderers. You don't murder murderers. And people don't distinguish between the two. They don't want to because they want to corner you and like, oh, you're bad. You murder. So no, killing murderers is a big difference. Our soldiers kill mass murderers. They stop them from murdering more. Trevor says again, it's why Tony Soprano is not a hero. Jax Teller is not a hero, but the Punisher is absolutely right. Those guys kill innocents. They kill anyone who gets in their way. They kill for profit. They're not killing out of any kind of moral reason. They're murderers, butchers for, again, profit and for the profit, right? Happy's Funhouse. How do you feel about the choice Shiv made in the final episode of Succession? Would you have made the same choice? I was screaming at my TV when she did that, but I totally get why she did it. As in accepting or arguing against the bros who wanted to take it over. I think they were absolutely 100% unworthy. I will say that. And on that level, Roman was the most honest. The most honest. We're bullshit. We're bullshit. He's right. He's absolutely right. And the older brother, it was like his mission, regardless of whether he actually wanted it even. So that ending was strong. I don't think it should have ended any other way. They're unworthy of that power and position. And again, it's made by people who want to smear the right and smear business in a lot of ways, but it's still damn good. It's still damn good. So We can talk about that Happy's Funhouse maybe at some stream. I do got to get going though, guys. Trevor says to Hamilton Berger, these are the philosophical questions that make good topics for discussion. 100%, Trevor. I love this stuff. I love it. I think it's deadly important to, to these issues, life and death, heroes, villains, what makes them clearly different. This idea that if the if Batman kills Joker, he's just as bad, retarded, morally retarded. If Batman kills Joker, it might be his only real kill. Whereas the Joker murdered innocents. He murdered Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts in the Dark Knight with impunity and laughing it up. That's Batman. If Batman kills the guy who did that, he's the same as that guy. Retarded. Stupid. Hamilton Berger says, fair enough. I intended it as such. I like morally complex character like Dexter Morgan, who kills serial killers but does so to satiate his homicidal urges because he is inherently immoral. It's a good show. It's a good character. Whether he can actually exist, I don't know. But it's well done. And the actor, I think without Michael C. Hall doing it, I don't know if it would have worked. There's something about him. There's something about him that made it, how can I put it? Not acceptable, but it's like, okay, I can go with this guy. I can follow him. And okay, I think if that's the situation he's in, if he has this urge, this undeniable urge, and it has to be done, and he can at least direct it towards the bad guys. And also, it's an interesting thing because he's not this unfeeling psychopath. He has love for people. He does care about Deb and Rita and his family. He does care, generally does. So I don't know if they made a mistake of doing that because they try to set the stage that he doesn't feel. He does feel. He's a passionate guy. And some seasons were better than others. And now they have a new one coming up, and they had the Dexter uh, prequel. Pretty damn good, guys. Pretty damn good. Surprised. Would not have believed that they can pull it off. They did. They're clearly going to be a second season of that, and then there's another season of the, post of the last one that they had. It was one season. I forgot what it's called, and now there's another comeback. So it's an interesting character. It's interesting, but the actor really sells it to the point where you're like, okay, I think I can follow him without being, disgusted. Even though at times, like when he fucks up and kills the wrong person, and he has a terrible, day with that. I mean, he just, hey, immoral fat 40 ounce, just tuning in. Did it piss you off to see Trump hanging out with Saudis? Yeah, it did. I don't know why he's there. I think it's stupid. They have nothing to offer us. You want to talk to them on a phone behind the scenes and tell them to, hey, you guys are gonna do this in terms of dictating to them what's what. Fine, going there and being celebrated by these piece of shits who fund terrorism, jihad against us. Not good. But that's what you get with and this idea Trump's not a politician. He is. He is. He's been a politician. Now he's a politician again. He is a politician. Creature Commandos, Hamilton Berger, yes. The one thing that I know about Creature Commandos is I wanted to watch the next episodes. I was into it enough to continue watching. Great? No. Parts of it were funny, entertaining, yes. And I think it was a stupid choice, though, to have that as the first thing that he did, because it's like, if that's a stage, what the fuck are you going to do with Superman? Set it with Superman first, and then go off the grid with that other stuff, with that experimental stuff. I don't know what he was doing there. I don't know. He's all over the place, but let's see. The one thing he has going for him is he's a creative guy. He's a creative guy, James Gunn. More so than Kevin Feige. What is he? He's just a producer. You have a different feel here. There's a guy who writes and directs, who's ahead of DC. There's a different thing there. Let's see. Let's see. Huh. Trevor Hamilton. Superior knowledge? Me? LOL. I'm a novice. I didn't think of saying that in response to Trevor. Damn. I guess I took it for as a given. And yet somehow a Morris unions with the goat doesn't taint them. That's right. That's right. That's right. Trevor. Amoral fat 40 ounce. I just ate a hot dog. Was it kosher? Is the question. Uh, Trevor Nielsen. They think relations with women are filthy too. Go figure. Yes, they do. Mikey says that's retarded. If you hate pigs, you should be eating baconators every day. LOL. George says if I eat pig, they shouldn't be able to touch my pork sweaty body. Right? That's right. Florida man. Hello, Liam. How's it going? Sexy Texy. Should hop on Shane stream later on and talk about Earth One. Maybe. I mean, at some point, I will mention it. I don't remember too much about it. It's worth rereading it and then, Inglorious Rex, just out of curiosity, just to see the high contrast difference, because I think there is. Because when I'm reading Inglorious Rex, I'm like, wow, this is very strong stuff. Alpha Channel Pigman trading card set, maybe please. Um, I do have a number of Pigman trading cards off of this campaign. I got 3 here. I have 2. I don't know. Maybe. When you speak of set, do you mean what like Ethan does? Now, when Ethan sells those things, does it come in a notebook folder with all the things, and he ships it to you guys? That could be something. That could be something. Unintelligent design, Liam says, the problem isn't Batman, it's the legal system. The legal system should put down a Joker. Yeah. Yes, they should. It's only, again, guys, he can't kill dozens and dozens, if not hundreds, if not thousands of people and keep doing it and get away with it. It's like, it. At that point, you're an accomplice to murder. Whether you're Batman or the state, you're an accomplice. So if you can't let him do that. Sexy Taxi says, just like all C's court systems are, Liam, Bruce Campbell's chin, but you're no better than blah. Yeah, so bad, so bad. You're no better. You killed a guy who killed thousands of people. You're no better than him for killing your first kill, him who killed thousands. What? Okay. Um, how much is a gallon of milk? Immoral fat, 40 ounce. I don't know what that's in reference to. I don't drink milk. I don't know if that's what you mean, just literally. Trevor Nielsen said Michael C. Hall was good at a duality. He would be a good Joker. Definitely, definitely. He's very good, and he has a good presence about him, a good look about him, and a good voice. And he, for the most part, kept in rock solid shape also to play him, to give you the idea that he has an edge on his victims, whoever they are. Art says, hi Liam, I'm still rooting for the sad ending for DK2. Yes, Happy's Funhouse. Did you hear about the Disneyland in Abu Dhabi? Yes, I did. And, a place that kills homosexuals, imprisons them, and you got this pro-gay company trying to make a deal with them. It's like these guys are full of shit. Full of shit. On moral grounds, if they believe what they did, what they say they do, they would say, fuck you. We're not going to, they get in bed with anyone. They don't give a fuck. They just want to show us that they're allegedly good. Give me a break. So no, it's outrageous. Sexy Texy, have a good one, Bosch. See you later. Keep up the streams. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Mikey Getz says, I don't care about, I don't know about EVS, but Shane just puts the trading cards in a bag and board. Okay. Something to think about. Card binders, that's what it was. Okay. Hamilton. Are ordinarily sold, as in Hamilton, sold separately from Ethan, or people get their own card binders and you just send them the cards? I'm assuming that's the case. I don't know. Okay, Liam said, I did a video about this. It's a philosophy thing based on the Greek philosophy of justice. Okay, good. Good to hear. It's something worth having. Hamilton Berger, have a good night, Bosch. Great stream as usual. Appreciate it, Hamilton. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Always. Thank you very much. And one last pitch to get Pigman. I just passed 18,000 today, thanks to Jimmy. Thank you very much, Jimmy. Just passed 18,000. 277 backers. Pigman number one. The Islamic background of twins comes to the forefront of their lives, 9/11, which is echoed by the comic book within Pigman vs. Superchild. Twin brothers, Killian Duke, Salam Duca. One becomes a recovered Muslim, Killian Duke. One becomes a born-again Muslim. Killian creates a pigman called, a comic book called Pigman, excuse me. Creates a comic book called Pigman who takes on jihad. That sets off his brother. They have a conflict throughout the entire series. It gets heavier and heavier. It goes deeper and darker. And then you have the story of Pigman versus Super Jihad, who's like a brother to him. Allies for years, riding against Islamic Jihad for years together. And then 9/11 hits. When a second tower gets hit, his friend Muhammad, who becomes Super Jihad, collapses to the ground and says, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Returns to the fold. Takes on Islam in every way, on every front, culturally, politically, ideologically, religiously, on the battlefield, through comic book panels, through TV interviews, through news, and so on, courtrooms, everywhere a battle. And I try to make it as engaging and as entertaining as possible. You see a little glimpse of it here in my preview. I have a 9-page preview. You see the inciting incident, which is the atrocity of 9/11. You see a street fight that Killian gets into with guys who are trying to give away Qurans. Your Muslim friends, YMF. He calls them YMFers at one point, you motherfuckers. And it goes from between Pigman and the brothers. So this is here. Half of this page is the brother story, and it transitions into the Pigman story. The brother story has black panels in the gutters. Pigman story is white gutters. The Killian Duke story is inked in pen. The Pigman part is inked in brush. Slightly different look. Not a real big difference, but I think if you pay attention, you can see it. A little different texture in the finished work. Pigman on the battlefield, and then you have here another half Pigman page transitions into the brothers page, and in here you have post 9/11 comics, a Muslim, a Catholic, communist, and an atheist, Killian, ex-Muslim. It's fun, it's serious, it's deadly, it's again it puts off some people, which I like. I like it. It makes people think about things that maybe they're not that comfortable with thinking about in terms of heroism and also what crosses a line and stuff. And again, that will hit Supernova, I think, at some one issue where, hey, I don't know how many of you will stick with me in terms of, but I think it's it's the most ruthless thing I think I've had any character do, and it's also a hit back against what I've seen other writers do. We will see. I want to continue this series. This is going well. I just want it to go better. I want to expand a little more. I want to make a bigger impact with issue 1, and therefore, hit issue 2 hard with readers who understand what the story is and who really are interested in finding out where it goes next. And I got some good cliffhangers as well. So that's my pitch, guys. Appreciate it. I show the trailers both. I got 5 different covers here, guys, for now. 5 different covers. I'll be closing out July. I'm not exactly sure exactly when, but July, 2 months from now. It's my first campaign, so I wanted to stretch out a little to see what I can do with it. I wanted to experiment also with advertising. X was good to boost things initially, and then they weren't working as well. They weren't boosting the posts of mine as well as they said they would. And then they were working recently as well. So that, I'm trying some other avenues. I gotta find a way to push this a little more. But thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate it. I do have a digital copies as well. I have the Pigman t-shirt. And again, guys, this is September 11th with the Twin Towers. September 11th, like a ribbon, in the commemoration. Also 9/11 there as well. Capitalist pig, $, and so on and so on. I love that stuff. Okay, guys. Amoral Fat 40 ounce milk question was from Succession when the sons didn't know to prove how out of touch they are. Okay. Funny. That's worth a rewatch. That entire series, it was really well done. I mean, great acting. Um, High stakes, man. Really good. And Brian Cox, I mean, kicked ass, man. Kicked ass as Logan Roy. What a character. Um, Appreciate you guys. Thanks. Happy. Great stream, Bosh. See you next time. By Ethan, I mean. Uh, have a good night, Bosh. Okay. Card binders are ordinarily sold separately, I believe. Okay. By Ethan. Cool. So he has the binders and sends them. Now the binders, does he add his Cyberfrog images on there? I imagine he would. Art says, "Hey Bosh, the guys doing the Toth Zoro campaign alien books are still relatively new, but they're growing on me. Had an issue with an order, and they were awesome. Excellent. Definitely getting that. I have a ping to be because I got this one little thing. They're relettering it, and I don't like it. I don't like the way the relettering looks. Where balloons are way too big for the letters, and the letters look too small. That might be just what they're doing. In the meantime, it might not be the end result. It's not a make or break for me, but don't care for it. And Toth has such great lettering. I don't know why. I'm assuming he lettered that. I'm assuming he did because he did the works on there. Wrote pencil ink to letter it, I believe, and then also even at one point added some kind of gray shade, which I think in some publications they took out. And this one, the color, I saw the color. The color looks really good. It looks like the kind of Dave Stewart type coloring. Modern, but without too much rendering, which I can't stand. I can't stand the over rendering of color sometimes. I just can't. Um, but it looks good. I have those copies. I have 2 volumes of that. I have a digital one. I haven't seen that in a hardcover, I don't think. And this looks great. And it was one of the Marvel covers he did for the Zorro series. He did Zorro covers for Marvel. I think 4 different covers in the probably 80s, maybe 90s. I think maybe 90s. And that cover is just so cool. It's just so cool to have that as a cover. Alpha Channel, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Art says, I backed their Bloodshot campaign. Okay, so these guys, but my book was missing the dust jacket, which was a stretch goal with nice art. I sent them an email, and they just sent me a whole new book and said, keep the extra. Excellent. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Art says they also have a black and white version with the original 12 lettering. Nice. I did see that, I believe. Okay. So if anything, Art, though, it's worth getting both of those. Okay, because it's worth getting both of those in. I assume they have a pack where you can get both, like within that, what do you call it? The jacket, or the thing that you slip in, the slip-in cover. If they have that, that's worth getting both of those because again, the color looks great. The color, it looks great, and I love seeing the black and white one too. So, it's like the Batman Year One Absolute. You get the old edition with the newsprint colors and literal newsprint paper in that hardcover, and then you get the recolored one by the same colorist. That's pretty cool. So it's the same sensibilities, but it's just a person who says that they can do it better the second time. So that's awesome. Thanks for giving me the heads up on that, Art. First of all, big time appreciation because I don't know if I would have caught it. And I make myself, I don't know. I should be in the know about these things, but I wasn't. So thanks. That's definitely worth doing. There's a 2-pack. I think this slipcase only fits 1 book though. Okay, that's fine. But I'll get the black and white one for sure. Now, Art, is it pure black and white or does it have the gray that Toth added at one point? And I remember Howard Chaykin in the yes, Mikey, absolute Killing Joke has that involved exactly. The former colors, I think it was Higgins who colored also Watchmen. I believe he did, and he recolored it, and the recoloring to me is better. It's just better. These guys are pros, and they get a second shot. They want to make sure it's like me with this. I'm getting a second shot to look at this and say, okay, I can punch this up. And, again, there are things I'm looking at. I'm like, I don't know. I like it as is right here. I might change something there. I might change some of the lettering there, but overall, it's pretty good. But then there are some things I'm clearly gonna change and gonna add. Again, impact, a little more impact. This is not just this indie book that no, I want it to stand up against anything out there. Um, so thanks again, Art, for the heads up on that. It's awesome. I have a notification put on there that when they're about to go to end the campaign, I think 2 weeks before. It says the original black and white artwork. Boom, awesome. Because I've seen it in pure black and white. I've seen it with the gray, and then I've also I haven't seen it in color until I have seen it in color. I have the one that I have actually digitally on Comixology Kindle was colored. It was colored. Okay, but this color is fantastic. So I don't know why they relettered it, man. Anyway, we'll see. I might be proven wrong. He might be better than Toth. I don't think so, but because he's also considered one of the greatest letterers of all time. On top of that, um, Mikey Getz says, "I hope EBS keeps warts and all open till my birthday. I love the old Sour Frog. LOL." Yeah, I got some of the old Sour Frog. I prefer the new one big time compared to it. And he acknowledges the fact that he was relatively nihilistic. Beating up an old lady or hitting her and being rude to her. That was very different, man. I mean, very different. Whereas this Sour Frog is heroic. He's heroic. He's not a punk, just trying to get, you know, I guess, I don't know. It's funny. But anyway, guys, take care. Guys, thanks for being here. As always, appreciate it. Thanks for the give and take. It was a good conversation about the killing issue. And again, the rat fuck leftists in comics like Mark Waid and Grant Morrison, all these hacks who say, when they're asked about what makes a hero, not killing. You idiots. Not killing. No, that's a negation. That's a negative. That's like not killing. That's their heroism. You idiot. No. Being a hero, saving lives, and sometimes saving lives requires killing mass murderers who take lives. Sometimes that's a requirement. And that's my thinking about Pigman. Take care, guys. Be well. Until next time. Thank you very much. As always, thank you.